There are people who are really lucky. Then there's the luckiest man alive. Then there's Mista. Hello, my gangsters. I apologize for this really late review. It's just I've been doing some things with my life, and I was way too busy to do all that YouTube stuff. But now I'm back, thankfully. Now to go to the review. Episode 19 was a really great episode. So it picks up right out after episode 18 when we first see the powers of Gyakyo and his Deadly Stand White Album. And we see how terrifying he is. Plus, he is voiced by the same person as Bakugo. I apologize about that, but yeah, he's voiced by the same person as Bakugo, and that makes him really terrifying. But at all jokes aside, yeah, he's a pretty terrifying villain. He obviously has a temper, and that's and he's bad news for Mista and Giorno. So we pick up and Giorno drove straight into the canal, and not the best idea ever, but he's only 15, so we gotta cut him some slack. That day didn't work out as well as Juggernaut hoped, and Hyakyo still fought back, and Mista he thought of diving into the canal and swimming in order to retrieve the disc that he was supposed to retrieve. Um, and that didn't go so well with him as Gyakyo kept up with him. So I do want to apologize about everything that's gone wrong with the video. It's definitely on me. Oh, with that further said, this is the first time I do something like this, voiceover over an image. Uh, so without further ado, let's get into the review, starting all over again. So my apology includes the audio quality. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, and also I'll stutter the least possible in this review. No need to go over the recap of this episode, as I've done it previously in the review. I'll just get into things. So after that's done, at the journal pulled Gyakyo was still hot on their trail and was freezing things all over in the canal of Venice. Because Giorno driving straight into the Canal of Venice. It was kind of a last ditch effort, and because that didn't work and didn't stop Kiakio, Giorno thought that they were doomed to fail, that this guy was unstoppable. Even so, they tried everything to succeed in the mission, and that is what's important in this episode. And for most of the episode, Kiyakyo seemed like this unstoppable force, and the mission, their resolve, Mista and Jorno's resolve, was the immovable object. No, no matter what, they were going to see the mission succeed. And Jorno said that it doesn't matter if he dies, they will succeed in the mission. If you've seen the episode, you will know how unstoppable Kiyakyo was, and I do not want to go into that. Just that Mista pulled off with the sled made of grass, but Kiyakyo took a bolt into his forehead, and that didn't kill him, and it went deep. When everything seemed fine for the gang, Kiyakyo pulled off his ace up his sleeve. He When Mista shot him, he froze the monster in the air, creating this sort of barricade that makes the bullets ricochet. And if Mista shoots Gyakyo, then the bullets will go back to him, and he'll be doomed. So let's just say one thing led to another, and Mista, he got shot by his own bullet while he was inside the canal, and that gave Gyakyo a chance to go up to the lion statue and retrieve the disc. And Mista blames himself for this, and he vowed to get the disc, no matter if it cost him his life. And Giorno grew concerned over this. So the fight with the ice queen and the gunslinger, it got more interesting once it was on land. Giorno saw that Mista stood no chance against his attack, and because the ice shards are not visible to the human eyes, Giorno decided to mess up his arms like a certain anime character we know. So he messed up his arms, and a lot of blood came out everywhere, and they revealed the location of the ice shards. And that's when the whole speech about having a strong resolve came in. Basically, what the journal did is hype Mista up by telling him that with a strong resolve they can accomplish anything, nothing else matters but their resolve. And this resolve speech triggers a flashback for Mista when he got sent to prison after murdering all those dudes, and the court system failed to recognize that it was in self-defense. The only person that believed that was Bucaletti. So he busted Mista out of prison a few days later from his 30-year sentence and asked him to join the gang. Bucaletti must have seen something in Mista to let him join the gang, to bust him out of prison and ask him personally to join the gang. Mista thinks to himself that it's because of his resolve that allowed him to join the gang, and with that same resolve, he will stop Gyakyo at any means necessary. So Mista goes up and shoots all their bullets to stop Gyakyo, but of course it fails and the bullets ricochet onto his body. But it doesn't matter because Mista won't stop until Gyakyo is dealt with. That is part of his resolve, and that's what gets him injured. He fired so many bullets, they ricocheted back to him, that he was fatally injured. It seemed as if this would have been the end of Mista, because he shot a bullet and the bullet reflected and hit him in his head directly. But all of the sudden it regenerates and the journal appears, and he crouches over holding Mista's body, and the shot looks beautiful, um, like something that could be carved into a statue. Journal looks so angry as he's holding Mista, and he directly stares at Gyakyo. And Gyakyo is pinned down him due to him being stabbed by a spike when he was pushed onto a post with a shard that stabbed his neck, and he pinned himself with his frozen blood. Sorry, I forgot to mention it before, but if you've seen the episode, you'll have an idea of what situation Gyakyo was in. Giorno goes berserk on Gyakyo as he just murders him and pins him down to the post, making him get stabbed in the neck by the shard that is coming out of the post that Mista so wanted to use against him. And that is the end of Gyakyo and his Stand White album, and another mission successful for Bucaletti's group. With that said, their mission for the boss of escorting Trish is almost over, but they still got um, got another threat that is coming to them. So they still have to face a challenge before they can complete the boss's mission. One memorable scene was the last scene when Giorno fixed Mista's hole and replaced his old bullet shells with uh, with the parts that he lost due to the impact of those bullets. So from a distance, it looks like Jorno is giving Mista the big suck, but we know what's going on. But Naranja doesn't, as he came up with a boat and he detected them by using Aureo myth. He saw them and he saw them in this awkward position that you can see now in display. So Naranja was pretty shocked by seeing this image of two homies just having some fun, but it ain't gay if they say no homo first, and that's one rule about Passione. When Bocaletti asked Naranja if he can see Mista and Giorno, Naranja said that he can't see anything because he has something in his eyes. That about wraps up the whole episode. So overall, I gotta say, amazing visuals, uh, great voice acting. The casting for Gyakyo couldn't have been more on point, and the storyboarding was pretty great. So I want to apologize again for this huge inconvenience that I've had. And with that said, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the look of the part so far? Cause a certain person has been unhappy with how part 5 looks. And again, if you think it looks bad, then you are entitled to your own opinion. But what did you think about this episode, about this part in general? Now that we are in the halfway point, and everything is about to change. So let me tell you that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you take care and have a happy JoJo Friday.